There is a lot of information and misinformation floating around the web in regards to survival and preparing for our ever-changing world. The sad thing is, some of the most popular outlets for this information do not adequately screen their sources. While I don't claim to be an expert on anything, I do feel it's necessary to clear up misconceptions when I come across them. This discussion is about just such a misconception. Recently, I read an article that stated, very matter-of-factly, that a person will die after 3 days without water, or would die after 5 days without food. This is complete nonsense. Let's look at water first. There are a lot of factors that need to be taken into account when dealing with dehydration. How hard are you working? Are there any immediate medical needs? What type of climate are you in? What is your pre-emergency level of fitness? Setting some of these possibly drastic things aside, one needs to determine a real, factual baseline before claiming that we know exactly when a person will succumb to the ill effects of limited hydration, let alone actually die from being without water. Randall Packer, a professor of biology at George Washington University, suggests that a person can survive for a week or more with no or limited water intake. Other fitness-related sources put this number at a week also. That's far more than the 3 days suggested in this alleged survival article. It's worth noting that the level of comfort or activity you will be able to engage in may be minimal, but yes, you can survive. Now let's talk about food. The article stated, in bold letters nonetheless, that a person would die after only 5 days without food. Again, this is complete nonsense. Alan Lieberson, a medical doctor and not some hack columnist, states that there are well-documented studies showing people living 28, 36, 38, and 40 days with zero food. Again, this has a lot to do with overall health prior to the individual finding themselves in a state of limited nutrition. It is also worth noting that the human body and its level of resistance is amazing. Studies have shown that metabolism can be self-adjusting with caloric intake. It's also been shown with patients who suffer from conditions that place them in persistent vegetative states that once sustenance is stopped, death still takes 10 to 14 days. This is not a long time, but often these individuals are already in states of physical degeneration. In other words, they are simply not capable of maintaining their physical fitness prior to the loss of sustenance. Again, this 10 to 14 days is far longer than the alarmist view of 5 days until death. Keep in mind what we're discussing here is extreme survival. If things have degraded to the point that you can find absolutely zero food and or water, then the larger situation may be beyond recovery as well. At this point, stockpiles will be meaningless, because they've long since been depleted. It's far better to spend time developing skills to provide for some type of sustained food source in the wild. Hope should never be surrendered. These arbitrary numbers of 3 to 5 days until death do nothing but spread ignorance of human survivability. Let's hope you never find yourself in such a situation that any of the aforementioned information will be put to the test. Thanks for watching, and maybe, just maybe, I'll see you on the next video. If you enjoy videos about the randomness of our amazing world, consider clicking on the globe to subscribe, or maybe checking out one of the other videos right here.